Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport, and another woeful performance, it must be said, from the SAA side. They have gone down to Bristol 26 points to 18, and just unfortunately very few positives coming out of that match. And we're going to go through, we're going to talk about it, we're going to look at the stats, but to be perfectly honest, another pretty dismal performance from an SAA side where we expected to be rusty and to be off the pace and maybe, quite fractured in the first game against Munster, so we kind of tolerated that win. Well, some of us did. Some of us sort of said, at least as long as there will be improvement. There wasn't any. In fact, it was actually probably even worse. Individual errors, inexcusable mistakes, missed tackles, and an all-around pretty shocking performance, which sounds very harsh, but it's the reality. They just didn't pitch up. And this is a game for players to put their hands up and to put themselves into Springbok contention. It just didn't happen. With the exception of maybe Sikomozi Noche, I don't think people's stocks really rose this game. Instuko Kunu, I think played well, actually, to be fair to him. A couple of players who did try. A lot of players who were kind of exposed at this level, to be honest. Sasha Fayman Gomezulu leaving with a knee injury as well, from the looks of it. Doesn't look good. Or an ankle he did was carried off the field, so that's not a good look either. So not good. Before we break the game down, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. It all started pretty poorly. Well, it started all right with an early penalty. Sasha and Gomezulu, Fayman Gomezulu, adding 3 in the first few minutes, but it was all quickly turned on its head after the yellow card to Jason Jenkins, which saw Callum Sheedy add an extra 3 points after a 10-minute review, by the way. I'm not even joking. A 10-minute TMO review by the referee. It was absolutely ridiculous. In fact, the broadcasting lead left a lot to be desired for a lot of the game. However, we regained the lead through the boot of Fayman Gomezulu in the 19th minute before they equalised in the 25th minute. Gabriel Ibatoya then scored a try in the 31st minute. It was a good cover tackle by Johnny Lombard, but nobody was really covering the inside ball. And Ibatoya getting away from Jean-Luc Dupré, running inside that try as the SAA players just kind of looked flat and kind of just switched off. 13 points to 6. We then saw an early substitution in the second half. Jan Goosen replacing Johnny Lombard, which made zero difference. Instuko Kunu ran a very nice line, got himself over in the 48th minute to give us a bit of hope. But Sasha Fayman Gomezulu missing the conversion, which he probably should have gotten. And then Bristol kind of took control of the game. They kicked a penalty in the 51st minute and then scored a try in the 57th minute. And they were just on the doorstep, bashing us down. There was a patch of really good play, but then we didn't clear our lines, got ourselves back in the exact same situation, and the loose head went over in the 57th minute. And the points were added, 23-11. And then Callum Sheedy in the 66th minute added the extra 3 points as well to make it 26 points to 11, which at that stage you think it's gone, and the game was gone. But Sikomozi Noche scored an opportunistic try, the ball coming loose after the back of a scrum, thanks to good work from Pepsi Buthelezi. Sikomozi Noche managing to pick it up on the ground and go over Jan Goosen, adding the extras. Let's look at the stats, shall we? Possession, 53% for Bristol. Territory, 51%. 2 tries apiece, 2 conversions. The difference was 2 penalties and a conversion. We ran 180 metres in that 80-minute performance compared to 381 Bristol won. Bristol beat 22 defenders, we beat 15. We had 3 clean breaks to their 5. They had 49 gain carries. We only had 32 gain line carries, by the way, according to Ultimate Rugby. What South African team only has 32 gain line carries? That is ludicrous. Turnovers 1-5 apiece, 20 kicks from hand to 26. But let's go and look at it, shall we? 22 tackles missed out of 131, 83% tackle success rate. Bristol with 84%. Our ruck success rate was worse. Our line-out success rate, we missed 3 line-outs. JJ Kotze responsible for 2 of those. Scrum success rate, 5 out of 8, 63%. Yellow card, 9 penalties conceded. Yeah, not a good performance at all. And I think, the question is now who takes the blame. Now, I think it has to be a very much a holistic approach to who is to blame. First of all, the coaching staff were implementing the Springbok style of play, which we know takes a long time to get used to, and whether or not it is worth it, it didn't work. The style of play was wrong. We couldn't execute properly. We were kicking far too deep, for example. We weren't challenging we weren't kicking any contestables, and as a result, we were kind of just gifting possession away. We didn't really run the hands. I thought there were a couple of times where there were overlaps where people just held on to it instead, which was a bit frustrating. Our maul, for example, worked, and towards the end of the game, we found a bit of scrum ascendancy, but still conceded penalties. But let's be perfectly honest, so many individual errors, and the players have to take accountability for those individual errors. Must have been about 11 or 12 handling errors. It was the most ludicrous and basic handling errors. Jan Goosen making a breakdown towards the left-hand side, popping the ball inside Leon's us, just drops it. Cornel Hendricks, does well to get back and help cover. Bumps off a defender, just drops it. I mean, the amount of handling errors, it was ridiculous. The amount of poor passes, kicks being charged down, kicks not finding touch, kicks penalties that were going for line, going, not finding touch, and then going out in the full. It was just error after error after error. So, whilst the coaching staff have got to take a lot of blame for a game plan that didn't work, and for whatever reason the players not being matched up, just so many individual areas that the players have got to stand up and say, listen, we didn't pitch up. But there were a couple of players who tried hard. I thought Intukum Uno didn't do his name any bad. He made 8 tackles, missing just 1, 6 carries. I thought Tiki Bozinoch came off the bench and played very well. Excuse me. He carried the ball up 5 times. Beat 5 defenders and 48 meters gained, 4 tackles, 1 missed in just 28 minutes. That is someone who's coming on and saying, I actually want to play there. I want to try and get something there. Marco Mustard, I thought, was pretty decent, missed a couple of tackles. Albert Lowe was a little bit quiet. I would like to see him with more ball in hand. Jean-Luc Dupree got through a lot of work, 11 tackles, 4 carries made. I thought Sasha Fainberg Gomezulu started well, but then to be perfectly honest, I thought he had a game which demonstrated how young he is and how new he is to this level. Error after error in the second half, and then left the game injured, which is not a good look at all. Unfortunately, there's not much we can really gain from these matches, and they kind of feel like a bit of a waste. However, I suppose there is a lot of answers about some of these players from a Springbok selection point of view, and unfortunately I don't think a lot of good answers. But let me know, what do you guys take out of these games? Unfortunately, I don't think there is much to take out from a positive point of view, apart from somebody like Siki Mozinoche who really put his hand up. Bruno Kia as well, I thought tried very hard. But let me know down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.